You ever notice how everyone who screams the loudest about saving tradition seems to have the least experience in actually living it? Like the world's on fire, politically, morally, culturally. And the people acting as firefighters are standing there holding matches. That's modern conservatism for you. They are the moral hall monitors, trying to police the party while secretly sneaking shots in the bathroom. The right keeps telling us that the West is collapsing, that families are dead, that men have lost their purpose. And they might be right about some of that, but not for the reasons they think. The West didn't fall because of feminism or Netflix. The West fell because all the people preaching about duty and virtue couldn't practice what they posted. They turned morality into marketing, virtue into a Patreon tier. Nick Fuentes, the internet's self-proclaimed moral saviour, Christian nationalist, and champion of traditional family values. Except for one tiny detail. He doesn't have a family. He doesn't have a girlfriend. He barely has sunlight. This is a man lecturing millions about marriage while admitting he's never kissed a girl. Imagine Gandhi preaching moderation while doing tequila shots alone in a basement. That's the energy. And it would almost be harmless. Just another chronically online guy playing prophet. If it stopped there. But then comes the endless melodrama. The whispers, the DMs, the rumours of a gay sex tape, allegedly hanging over his head like a divine joke. And who's the supposed blackmailer? Milo Yiannopoulos. You cannot write comedy this perfect. The same Milo who once boasted about his sex life, then repented, found God, declared being gay isn't real, and now manages Nick Fuentes' image. Picture that dynamic. You've got an ex-gay man threatening to out another man who insists he's never dated. Both of them claiming to stand for Christian family values. That's not politics. That's Real Housewives of the alt-right. It's like if two priests got into a slap fight in the confessional booth while live streaming it for clout. Every time they fight, you can practically hear Huxley whispering from beyond the grave. Told you they'd end up like this. Fuentes calls modern culture degenerate. But every hour of his content screams repression, begging for release. He rants about women being the root of decline, then spends every day surrounded exclusively by men who spend their evenings worshipping anime. That's not tradition. That's celibacy wrapped in denial. He claims the left destroyed romance, when really, no one ever swiped right on his worldview. And Milo, the chaos artist priest in cosplay, 1 decade ago he was bragging about his escapades, doing book tours, celebrating sin. Now he's trying to scrub the record clean by calling his former self a phase. He's the only man alive to go from God hates gays to but maybe he'll make an exception for Patreon supporters. He keeps reinventing himself the same way failed pop stars do. New outfit, new ideology, same desperate need for attention. The only tradition left there is opportunism. What's so fascinating is how the entire traditionalist movement has become therapy for emotionally broke men who hate the modern world but can't stop living in it. They stream, tweet, grift, gossip, all while whining that society has lost meaning. Of course it has. You can't preach values while treating them like brand assets. These guys aren't restoring faith. They are testing its market share. They look at liberals embracing chaos and say that's disgusting. Then after midnight, they are scrolling the same content they condemned 5 minutes ago. They talk about degeneracy while planning meetups that feel like high school sleepovers with fascist fan fiction. They don't want to rebuild the church. They want to LARP as crusaders between Uber Eats deliveries. Meanwhile, the left, for all of its faults, at least owns its mess. They admit the hedonism, the hookups, the self-indulgence. They call it finding yourself. And yeah, maybe it's shallow, but it's honest. The right hides the same behaviour behind rosaries and rhetoric. They consume what they condemn and call it discipline. It's not rebellion they hate, it's competition. That's why the whole moral panic talking points ring hollow. We need to defend marriage, they say, while the loudest defenders can't stay married long enough to finish a campaign. We must restore faith, says the guy live tweeting from his hotel room. We must protect purity, shouts the movement whose icons are being blackmailed by their former lovers. It's all theatre, a morality play performed by the unrepentant. It's not even new. Every empire's decline was blamed on the same story. The youth are godless, the women are wild, and the men have forgotten their duty. But every time, those same men turned out to be the biggest partiers in the city. Ancient Rome had senators preaching virtue while hosting orgies. Victorian England had preachers condemning sin while sneaking off to brothels. Now we've got podcasters doing live stream sermons between DMs. Same play, new stage lighting. The scariest part? They've convinced a generation of lonely, angry young men that salvation lies not in self-improvement, not in community, but in joining an online movement that hates everyone more than it helps anyone. It's the illusion of moral high ground, with none of the legwork. The slogans stay. The spirit's gone. The same people who said faith without works is dead now say content without clicks is pointless. Nick represents the ultimate irony of his side. A trad man with no tradition, a purity activist who keeps getting caught in unholy confusion. And Milo is just the ghost of what happens when hypocrisy gets tired and burns out. Together, they are the yin and yang of modern right-wing chaos. Repression meets reinvention. Moral panic meets midlife crisis. So whose fault is it, really? The left for celebrating freedom? Or the right for pretending they don't secretly want to? It's both. They are mirror images screaming at their reflections. The left calls it liberation. The right calls it damnation. Both swipe on the same apps after midnight when no one's watching. Tradition didn't collapse because young people stopped believing in God. It collapsed because older generations stopped living like they did. The right commodified religion the same way the left commodified rebellion. The cross and the rainbow flag became merch. And now we all live in the aftermath, where belief is branding and sin is marketing strategy. Fuentes and Milo aren't anomalies. They are symptoms. They are what happens when performance replaces principle. Every scandal is a sequel. Every apology, a reboot. They'll both preach the fall of the West, terrified of realizing they are staring into it. And that's the punchline. Tradition wasn't murdered by modernity. It died of hypocrisy. It drowned in the champagne glass of the same men who swore they were saving it. So yeah, tradition didn't just fade away. It got caught in 4K lying about celibacy. The people preaching morals turned out to be the main characters in the scandal section. And the rest of us, we are stuck watching the live stream of civilization's midlife crisis. If you made it this far, you are officially more patient than half of Twitter. So do the modern thing. Like the video, subscribe, drop a comment about which traditionalist you think will implode next. And share this with a friend who still thinks values can be brought in bulk. Welcome to the brave new world. Same hypocrisy, just better microphones.